Hello, welcome back to Call Clutter Fairy. I'm Noreen Burke, and this is my YouTube channel, The Crafty Organizer. I love helping you get decluttered, organized, do some DIYs, upcycles, crafts, and the occasional review on products. But today I want to help you get organized with your computer files. We're going to be talking about all digital files, so let's get started. If you're like me, you've got an influx of things coming onto your computer, and oftentimes we just save it to the easiest place, which happens to be our desktop. That means you've got a lot of things just really cluttering up that space, and I want to show you how easy it is to set up files so that you can save things to there easily, but also you can recall those items easily. So this is my desktop, and I try and keep things as minimal as possible. I have a couple of things over here that I always need to access, so I'm working with Annie's for collaborations. I have my YouTube videos to be posted. I have my virtual organizing files, and then I have some desktop things, but I keep them in a folder just to keep it neat and tidy. And then of course you need to have your recycle bin. So I'm going to give you an example with this folder called File Cabinet, because I want you to think of how a physical file cabinet works. You would walk over to that file cabinet and there are drawers. So here is the file cabinet, and then down beneath would be the drawer you go inside of. And you could see how they go together. Within the drawer is the hanging folders. And then inside of the hanging folder are the file folders and the individual documents. So if you think in terms of organizing in the way that you would have a file cabinet, a drawer within the file cabinet, hanging folders within each drawer, and then file folders, I'm hoping that this makes more sense when it comes to digital file organizing. So let's go to my file cabinet, or what I'm calling Noreen. And these are just examples. Obviously, your files are going to be specific to you. But here's an example of my file cabinet. And each one of these folders would be a drawer. So I would have a drawer for my work, my accounting, family. So within the accounting drawer, I would have these hanging file folders. So bills, contracts, financial. And then inside of the hanging file folders, let's say financial for example, these would be the folders inside my hanging file. And then inside of that would be individual papers. So let's just say, for example, you want to set up a banking. So you would need to have a file folder inside of your banking folder for each thing. So let's say you have a checking account, and I like defining my files with the last 4 digits of an account so that you are making sure each thing is in the correct space. So we would also want one dedicated for our savings. Let's say you have another one for your IRA. So each one of these would be, as you're getting a statement, if you're doing it electronically, you can save it directly into this folder. But also if you're scanning things, you could also save them in here. So once again, you can verify that inside of your file cabinet, which for me is Noreen, you go to the accounting drawer, the financial file, and inside of there is your banking place where all of your documents are. So let's look at another one for home records. Let's say you have your insurance, you have your mortgage information and warranties, or let's say you've got your taxes. That's a big one. I would have a file folder for every year. Now, some tax advisors recommend only needing 7 years. My particular one says to go 10, so please make sure you've got a file folder based on what your tax professional suggests, but usually 7 to 10 years is all that you need, and you can discard the rest. But this would be the perfect way to set up every digital receipt and document for your taxes. Let's take one more look at family. We have a lot of documents that we need to keep for family. You've got birth certificates, death certificates. Sometimes you're doing family trees or genealogy. I like having a folder for things that I want to do in the future with my family. You've also got health records if you've got any type of medical needs. I joke that someday I'll have a Mr. Somebody, but for right now, I don't. So that's not necessary. But within mine, I would have my own family health history, my health insurance, my medical history. And this is an important one, any medications. Right now, so many pharmacies are online. So as I get emails, I can just leave them in here along with receipts. So since it's just me and I don't have a somebody, I'm just going to delete that and stay single and happy. So let's go back in and I'll show you another example. So in my file cabinet, this is the one I use the most, and that is photos. I have been digitally taking pictures now for about 20 years. I still have some hard copies, but I have the main category for my photographs, and every time I get them, I just drop them directly into the correct folder. So as I'm scanning, I'm just dropping them in this pictures to sort through. And then when I have time, I go through about 20 pictures and just direct them to the correct folder. So for example, I've got holidays broken down by the specific thing that we celebrate. And if we happen to do something on a random holiday, I keep it miscellaneous. But let's check out Christmas, for example. I have them broken down by years. So if I want to see what my kids were doing when they were 5 years old, I do the math, I know what year that was, and I can go in. So, for example, in 2019, we celebrated Christmas Day. We did a gift exchange with the grandparents. We had a gingerbread party. We saw the Holiday Inn play. And of course, we went Christmas tree hunting. So if I want a picture from my gingerbread party, all I have to do is go back into that file, and there it is. Let's take another quick look in school. So here are the school years that my kids have been going to school. And when I open that up, I've got both of my kids broken down, and I name the school year that it was for them so that when I'm looking for pictures, I can quickly find them. Here's anything that would have happened in any one of these summers, and then vacations that we've taken. And I can just break down the files inside of there again if there were specific events that we took. This really streamlines your folders and your files and allows you to have a designated place. So as long as you're thinking in terms of how a file cabinet works, this will be a cinch. So another thing I use it for is things I want to do or make. This is where I go in for crafting a lot. So as I'm searching Google or Pinterest and I find an idea that I like, I will directly click right on the image. I will go to File, Save As, and I will save it inside that main folder under things that I want to make. And then I'll even break it down a little bit further if there's been a lot of things that I've been saving, and I'll direct it either to countdown calendars or holiday things, fall items, birthday ideas. So here you can see I'm creating a countdown folder, countdown calendars. I can just slide everything right over. Now, let's say I want additional folders for new folder for card making. Now, every time I find a card making idea, I can change it. You can also organize how you see these. If you want them in tiles, if you want it laid out by a list. Here's one more example of my work folder. So if you peek inside of work, again, that's my file drawer, and I have my business records, client photos, marketing, miscellaneous, YouTube, everything that I specifically need. But think in terms of the file cabinet, and this is my work drawer. Now, if I want to add a new folder, it's as simple as going to File, New, and as long as you're aware of where that first category is, in this case it's Noreen, that's where the file folder will go. So let's say you mess up or you want to change the name. All you do is right click on that folder and you can change the name by clicking rename. Now I'm in the empty for now. So if this is where I wanted to add a folder, I just simply click File, New, and New Folder, and now I can see exactly where it's at. So watch this bar up above because it will always tell you exactly which subcategory of a file it is. And as you open new things, it will progressively add to the right of the last location. So we're going to exit all the way back out to just the beginning for my last example. So if we went into that drawer one more time, hanging file folders is the next section, and then the actual file folder with documents. Digital organizing like this is really not that scary, especially if you keep it in one place. So by setting up a new file folder on top of your desktop, it's super easy to set up all of these. So I'm going to leave you with one last example, how I can go into my file cabinet. And in this case, I want the drawer of photos. And then I'll pick holidays. And then I'm just going to pick Christmas because it's coming up and I'm excited. I'm looking for my gingerbread pictures. So I go in, I find my gingerbread party. And now I can pick the picture I wanted. And again, showing how all of those categories break down in order. Here is a picture. This is a gingerbread party that I've been doing every year since my kids were super little, and it's a tradition that we love. But this will always allow you to find exactly what you need when you need it. Did this help? Did you have things all over your desktop that now you have a better understanding how to set up those files so that you can find things? If you were a pro already, leave me a comment below. Did I do anything differently than you, or do you have a suggestion that might help someone else to get their files under control? I appreciate you watching so much. Make sure you leave this video a like and also make sure you are subscribed. I'll be doing a lot more digital organizing in the future, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss them. I also loved all the feedback that you gave with regards to the countdown calendars. So I'm going to be recording those, and I'm going to be doing one a week to count down to the holiday season. So again, make sure you're subscribed if you're interested in that. Thank you so much to my Patreons who do make these videos possible. That information is in the description below if you'd like to be a participant in that. And also, I am getting ready for my holiday cards for my friend mail. If you're interested in that, that's also in the description. But I mail out handmade cards that either myself or viewers like you have shared with me, and I'll be sending those out because it's so much more fun to get something fun in the mail than a bill. And I know so many of you are still at home not getting to have that contact with friends, family, and co-workers. So if you're interested in that, be sure to check that out in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in a few days. Bye.